So I just read A Dynasty of Monsters by David Annandale, and it was alright. The story can best be described as an Age of Sigmar adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. There's a city of Sigmar that's on the warpath of a massive herd of beastmen, and their only hope of survival is to forge an alliance with the Evangori, a dynasty of monstrous vampires led by Laukavai. The people of the city aren't all as fond of the monstrous vampires, however, and led by a popular egocentric guy, Gaston, they form a plan to rebel and fight against these monsters. All the while, one woman tries to convince them that the Evangori aren't all that bad, and besides, they need them if they want any hope of defeating the beastmen. Then throughout the story, we slowly see this woman fall in love with the vampire. I won't spoil it any further for you, but you can probably already guess the rest from there. A Dynasty of Monsters is almost identical to the Neferata books by Annandale in terms of style, characters, and quality. So if you like the Neferata books, then you can probably stop watching this review and just start reading, as I'm 100% sure you'll also like this one. On the other hand, if you didn't like the Neferata books, then you too can stop listening, as I'm 100% sure you'll not like A Dynasty of Monsters either. The best part about the book, or any Annandale book in general, is the creativity of the setting and the descriptive writing thereof. The city where the story takes place is a massive construction of house block-sized platforms, held aloft by massive granite pillars to which the platforms are bound with chains and ropes. Or when the vampires are fighting, they generate a true hurricane of blood, which causes the battlefields to transform into a horrific swamp of viscera and gore. Annandale doesn't just manage to come up with all these concepts, he's also great at writing them in such a way that you truly feel as if you're just right there. Since both the story and most of the characters are adapted from Beauty and the Beast, I won't talk much more about them. But I do want to mention Laukavai, the new big named character for the Grand Allegiance of Death. And well, they needed one, since all of the characters Reynolds created are either being killed off or retconned. Laukavai, or the Mother of Nightmares as she calls herself, is the leader of the Evangori dynasty, and she's indeed a creature of nightmares, a vampiric upper body placed on the lower body of a dragon topped off with rotting bat wings. But that's not really what makes her scary. Unlike the other Evangori who are being consumed by their thirst and anger, she's perfectly in control. She's calm, cunning, and a natural leader, with the special ability to mind control the other Evangori. Think hive mind-like control. I quite like her portrayal in this story. Of course, we all know that she won't be killed off for meta reasons, so instead she's always in the background, scheming, planning, pulling strings. By keeping the focus on the other main characters and by making it so that the tension is all about their struggles rather than Laukavai's, her presence doesn't automatically guarantee a victory for her main characters. Meanwhile, Laukavai is still portrayed as powerful and competent. This is sort of a compromise between what happened in Lady of Sorrows and what happened in the Neferata books, and I think it truly managed to get the best of both worlds. Then let's get to some of the negative parts. Like all Annandale books, this is a book to read for fun, where you want to get your mind off things. There's a lot of cool action and scheming, but many things are completely and utterly devoid of logic once you start to think about them for a little bit. If you build your city on pillars to prevent your enemies from getting to it, why don't they just destroy the pillars? Not to mention, their most common enemy is Zincht, known for their destructive magic and flying capabilities. I could list at least 50 more examples, but you get the idea. Just don't think too much and enjoy the show. Furthermore, I've seen some people praise the philosophical themes in this book, but I truly don't understand where they got that idea from. It really doesn't get deeper than the rich looking down on the poor. Really damn literal in this case, as the rich live in higher places than the poor. Truly deep dude, Mariana Trench levels there. The original Beauty and the Beast still had this redemption arc going on, and the Beast wasn't as bad as it seemed at first glance. But in this book, the villagers' hatred for the Beast is pretty justified, as the vampires have an aura around them that causes everything around them to wither and rot. On top of this, the vampires are dickheads, who would long have massacred every single person in the city if it wasn't for Laukavai. Hard to blame the villagers for disliking them, isn't it? Anyway, if I was meant to read this book as a social commentary, it truly fell flat. Final point of criticism is the constant reuse of words. Someone told Annandale that the Evangori were monstrous, and since then every sentence has to contain the word monstrous or monstrosity. Who cares if it doesn't make sense, just put the word monstrous in there. Same problem as in the Annandale Primarch novels really. We also see the return of some of the same metaphors and imagery as in the Neferata novels. All in all, I'm giving this book 3 to 5 Emma Watsons. It's a fun read with cool imagery and a somewhat shallow but entertaining story. The story is, however, also just a ripoff from Beauty and the Beast, combined with some of the recycled gimmicks from previous Annandale books. So I don't feel like it deserves a 4-star rating. Although Lauk of I's portrayal did at least make me consider giving it 4 stars for quite a while, because Lauk of I is actually quite well done. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.